As in reinformed.
It's a group of residents and volunteers who helped on the campaign. We acknowledge on the much needed redevelopment on the station. However, we have been claiming for better and fairer consultation, including providing more photos of what's going to be the scheme. I don't know if you saw some of them in the newspapers, cutting either the top or the base of the building, but we don't think that they were showing a very fair view on the skyscrapers. We've been distributing leaflets with your help, and we've got also a website that you can find if you type on Google, for example, Clapham Junction Action Group. You've got also the name of the website on some of the posters. We publish regularly, several times a week, a lot of information, and you can comment because we welcome the debate. And now, today, we are organizing this public meeting with the help of the Battersea Society and other groups in the borough. I thank in advance our speakers here who are going to speak in a minute. Tony Tuck for the Battersea Society, Kate Williams for the Clapham Junction Action Group, and joining a bit later will be Martin Linton, the MP for Battersea. He is actually attending a special vote in the House of Commons. I must say also that we have invited several other people or entities who turned down a place on our platform. First, the developers, of course, were contacted by Harvey Hill, the secretary of the Battersea Society, but they refused to be present at this meeting. So they answered, I quote, "We are happy to talk to answer any further query that were raised, but public meeting forums are not the best way to discuss elements of the scheme." I think you will appreciate it. I also contacted Marcel Delancey a few weeks ago, which wrote to us at the beginning of the month, saying in their email answering back to me, "Metro fully supports an open debate in which the local community is fully consulted and has the opportunity to express their views," obviously not in public meeting. And they haven't answered my recent email. Apparently, last time they were interested by writing to me was to threaten us for legal issues. Network Well was contacted by the Battersea Society and myself, and they replied yesterday actually, but they are unfortunately unable to attend today's event, but according to their email, they are currently liaising very closely with the Borough of Wandsworth regarding the proposed transport improvement works at Clapham Junction. They have recently received a letter from the Wandsworth Council asking them to respond to some very specific points that were raised by the residents, apparently. And they are answering this, and they expect to cover many of the key concerns raised by the local community. And eventually they suggest us to speak to our local councillor, and I see that some of them are actually here in the public. So maybe at the end, someone from the council will be able to make some comments. And actually, regarding the Wandsworth, the Council of Wandsworth, I know that we have to bear in mind that since this application was submitted by the developers, the council had no choice but to consider this application. And they have to follow a proper and legal procedure. It's true that councillor member of the planning committee have to be very careful not to show predetermined opinion, otherwise it could occur legal action and the developers might overturn the decision. And in general, any councillor anyway have to be careful on their statement. However, I contacted Edward Lister, the leader of the council, to provide someone to represent the Council of Wandsworth, as I thought that it was a good opportunity to answer, to address global question and maybe explain a bit the process of all the application and all the decision on building application in the council. Unfortunately, he cannot attend the meeting himself, but he assured me that some councillors will be in the public listening, and again, maybe, and I hope, will be able to raise their voice and maybe answer some comments or questions of the public later during the meeting. And eventually, we contacted a member of the GLA, Richard Tracy. Unfortunately, he's got another commitment tonight, and I didn't have any specific answer from the Mayor of London. As usual, you will find all those information and a lot more on our website. And I think I give the microphone now to Tony Tuck for the Battersea Society, who is going to speak on the subject.